Hello and welcome to second sort of study. So I'm using the capo on the 3rd fret, which is a key of G. So it basically moves everything up to the sound of the G, but we still call each of the notes as they travel along the strings. E, F sharp, G, just for convenience in general parlance. So I thought what we do today is practice some techniques that are quite easy and sound quite nice. So basically just using 3 fingers with the thumb. Obviously the thumb is playing the low E string, so that's a G note really, but it's the low E string. So it's G in the same E Phrygian, but now we're in G Phrygian mode. So the Phrygian mode has the same characteristics as the E Phrygian mode, in so much as that the shape is open 1 like 1st fret, 3rd fret, so 1, hit, open, 1, 3, next, which is the A string, but is actually the C note, C sharp, D sharp. Now the D string, so if we're in the Phrygian mode, so it's got a quite nice ring to it on the 3rd fret. There's a lot of Sigirius, for example, who played on the 3rd fret. And we'll go on to Sigirius later. I was going to do the Tientos today, or maybe the Alegrias. I think I said on the other video I would. But for now, I think we can sort of explore what flamenco can bring. So, like the arpeggio with the 3 fingers, we can use on different strings. It doesn't necessarily have to be the so there's not so many types of flamenco where you play the arpeggio on the lower strings, which are the higher strings geographically. Right, so that's generally like in the Solia I played yesterday. So it's sort of like in that little riff or little course. Play the A string with the thumb and just sort of peel away. Oh yeah, if I take my fingers off you get a different tone, but basically if those two fingers are off and it's just this one on the highest noted string, the E string, next string up is the next finger. Now what we can do there is also we can move up one string, so each finger is on the string above. And that's with our so that is all from index finger to middle finger to index finger. So annular, media, and indice finger, dedos, finger, dedo. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be that way. It can also be peeled like this. Like there's a, I think that I got this from Frederick Hand, I think his name is. And what he's saying is like we've got like a natural sort of reflexive movement. So like we can sort of like tap. You know, you can tap that like quick and then you just you can sort of like do them all together. And you just get that trickle sound, and then you can add. So it's quite useful in various instances if I play the T. There's a lovely little in the Granada. Granada is like a free form from Granada. And that's a D7 chord. It's like a blues chord, but you can also play it. And you do play it in the piece that we'll later go on to learn. I think it plays it on the C as well. Anyway, you'll kind of get to know that arpeggiation. So you can just loosely practice it as a warm-up technique. And the idea being is like this, I think I got this one from Gerardo Nunes, who's just fantastic. And we'll do some of his stuff and we'll learn some pieces from Gerardo Nunes, who just plays like so beautifully and exciting. Like he's just got this unbelievable way of the way he plays, and not all the time. It's just like this mad Swiss instructional video I found of him, and he just plays like all traditional stuff. And it's just outstanding. So, yeah. So what he sort of says is like, so like on the first note of the three. So if we're going like index, middle, ring finger, like index, indice, middle, media, and ring finger, annular. So right, so that's just normal. Now what Alberto Guzman says, who I think has a great channel called Alberto 100 Guitar, or Alberto Guitar 100, something like that. He teaches classical and flamenco, brilliant, in English and Spanish. So taking those two pieces together, like from the advice of Gerardo and the advice of Alberto. So Alberto says you should play hard. And that's to develop the musculature, which eventually, if we're gonna, go into the more like the rasgueo stuff of flamenco, like the like that springier action. We'll do exercises to sort of like boost that, so you get like really, fiery sound. I haven't really warmed up now. I'm just sort of going through these motions because these are basics. These are interesting basics that like you've got to build up. Just using those three fingers simultaneously to give like a, but what you can do just to get used to some different effects. Because it can be used in different methods in various styles like guajiras and colombianas, and there's quite a few styles that we're going to get into, like. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. Right, so that's the forward, backwards, and backward, forwards. Okay, let's go that forward, backwards then. Now, if you notice, see, like my knuckle is like bending there, so we've kind of got like that's a slow. Allowing that knuckle to bend is it's a bit slow, so we don't want that. We just want that grabbing action. It's like our strongest mechanism, just natural. So there. You see how like there's the 8th note and then the 2 16th notes, or even the 16th note and the 232nd notes. So we can kind of mix on that. And going back to what I was saying about like Gerardo and Alberto. Alberto says play strong. build up the muscles as well as the endurance. The endurance is a bugger, to be honest, because you've got to build up a lot of stamina, to last the course when you want to do like 1.5 hour concerts and stuff. Yeah, so play loud and sort of play with you can use a metronome. I generally don't. I just don't like that limit and freedom. Just it's okay. I do now and again, just for a little bit of just to get a little bit of difference in my own sort of training, because I'm basically teaching myself after living in Spain and seeing a lot of guitarists like as you're seeing me now type thing, but in real life. So yeah, so the other arpeggio would be the middle. Now we can go either way. Middle, ring, index, or middle, index, ring. When you go one way, it's hard to go the other way again. But yeah, I love flamenco, or like some flamenco guitarists like to do that, just and it does give a great sound, but it takes a lot of skill and agility in developing that technique, where you can just swap around from all that, and just go in different ways with those arpeggiations. Because basically, like the way a lot of music is sort of cast nowadays is that it's like you're not doing it as a living thing. Well, I think in Andalusia, in the south, where the culture is night culture, it's not day culture. At least when I was there, it was 55 degrees in Celsius, which is like, I mean, they all got out of it, but I was loving it. But that's generally afternoon until maybe 7, 8 o'clock at night. And then the gypsies sort of come out, or the Spanish and the gypsies, or the Spanish gypsies sort of come out about like 10, 11, and they'll do the show. And then whatever the show in Seville, where I was staying, in the place El Tabanco was where that was where the cool kids hung out. So I used to hang out there with my ski jumper on in Seville. I mean, I didn't have the ski jumper, but I did hang out in El Tabanco in Sevilla. And it's just that the Spanish way of looking at the guitar, it is different to how a blues player or rock and roll or various players, even like the Spanish classical players, play just really sweetly. It's just a kind of sweetness. from there. But basically, it's sort of like there's loads of freedoms because there's lots of different palos or styles. So like we've just learned some arpeggiation at like a basic level, you know. Some quite interesting things about the guitar as well. Let's say if I take this one off, I don't think we done this yesterday, but like that's like midway. It's like 12 frets from the nut to the 12th fret, which is 1 octave. So here, it's like it's halfway, and that's why it makes that. Makes a different noise. Not so much on the 5th and 7th. Although I have seen a Spanish kid and he can do a full set of octaves like in between 1 fret, using harmonics. It's like quantum guitar playing or something. It's like stupid. So yeah, higher up near to the bridge, this being the bridge, obviously what we spoke about yesterday. The note length. It's got potential to be shorter than, which is just like more bassier. Because there's more vibration either side of the contact point, basically. So you can get like you can get like a sharper sound. Which is obviously getting manipulated then higher up. Now, if you've done it more, I'm not even sure. Like it's a much bassier sound, isn't it? A richer sound. So sometimes you get like there's literally tons of Spanish guitarists who I could name who you've probably never heard of, but so that can be one that's on the soliar, the compass, like the sort of like the. Different. So there's quite a lot that you can open up with like shades or colors, coloring in with the sounds. There's like a dissonance. It's known as dissonance in music. Like, so that would be a dissonance. I'll just put the capo back up. The capo or capo or cejilla. Cejilla is the means eyebrow. It's like an eyebrow. Goes over the strings, just like before or after, depends on how you want to count it. And just locks in at the back, on the neck there. So while we're on the back, it's good to keep your thumb sort of like there, and it doesn't come over the top or nothing like in rock and roll or, you know, folk music or acoustic music, because this neck is quite thick. The strings are thicker, and I think it's 2.25 inches thick. And a great exercise is, if you think I got this off David Torb or something, yeah, one of those guys over there. And you sort of like, you just kind of stretch the in-betweens of the fingers. And the reason why, I haven't actually seen anyone other than flamenco players play this, but we will get to this B9. Hang on. So I can use the arpeggio now. I don't usually play it this high up the neck, so I'm a little bit unfamiliar, but that's basically a falsetto from Alegrias, which I was sort of going to do today, but it's getting quite late, which it probably isn't even started in Spain now, and it's October, and in Seville, October is like the place to be there. Yeah, so, you know, we can actually, like I was doing at the beginning, we can do another exercise actually, which is kind of on, well, I've put it in the description, apoyando. So that is on a really useful riff, really useful progression. E minor, just using these two. There's an E9 as well, which is quite a beautiful sound. If we go to this third fret on the second string up, you know, and that's what flamenco plays a lot with. I hope that's like a few verses. So like that's minor, this is major, and this one, you see this string here, this string, the third string, the G string, in this chord, the E chord, which basically has the E, so like E, F, G, A, B. So it's got the like the E would be the root, F would be the 1, G would be the 3, A would be the 4, B would be the 5, E is the 7, it's like 3 E F G sharp. It's another 3 after the 7. So that's how you make all your chords. It's an A chord based off this string being the A string, using the E, using the A note on the G string, G sharp, A. So E, A, and the C sharp, and the E again. But you don't play the high E on that one. Sometimes you might put your finger there and get that A major sound, but the A minor. But there's another thing that is, I like this one just with those, like where we're on the A minor. We just use so that's an A2. So that's just like D minor, but in the progression that it's on which is E minor, A minor, and D minor. So like this is the D major, which is it's like the outer string, the higher string, 2nd fret. You know, like 2 strings up there, the 3rd string, and this in the D note, like on the D string, but as we're using the capo with the G, it transposes it to. I mean, you can actually like physically work out, so it's on the D sharp, E, F sharp on that string. So you can play that, or you can even put, hang on a sec. Because that F sharp, you can also play a D like this. Yeah, I'm just because you wouldn't. Although there are some gypsy tunes that do use all of the things, it changes. You know, that's the nature of harmonics and harmonies. I think some of the flamenco, like the French rumba flamenco, it's a little bit different in structure to rumba, say from Cuba, or even like Seville, Malaga, from Andalusia, southern Spain. Right, so That's it here. Right, so over the years, like what I've developed is like a little knack of, like, if this is the 12th fret, this one, which is the midway between the guitar string from bridge to nut. Right, so if I wanted to follow, right, that's an open string, right, so there's the 12th fret, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, so that's on the 7th fret on the 3rd string, and this one is on the 6th because it's just behind it there. Right, so that's one sort of thing. Now, as I say, we're going to do the tientos, and it's actually something that's interesting because we can do the tientos as a exercise for the tremolo. Right, so basically, because that one's dead hard, I'll explain to you now. So what we're doing there is, like, the first finger, like doing that finger, and then like we've done with the arpeggio, but we're arpeggiating on one. So we're starting like we've done the apoyando. Right, and this is one of the things about flamenco. Like, I could just do. Right, it kind of works, but because we have it there. You know, we're using the A minor, so we start on the A string because that's in the mode, wasn't it? Right, so we're like, we're orchestrating music within one mode, just one mode, and it can do so much. And it's like we're riffing on the minor. on the A minor. On the E minor. You see how the Phrygian mode is just like wicked, because you can just like do so much. You know, because it's like juggling balls or something. There's just like loads of different juggling bits that you can do. Where could that go? So, like it's just versatile, you know what I mean? Solia, you know, you recognize Solia. Done it yesterday. That's a little bit of an advancement on sort of like the ends of the falsetto from yesterday, and I was sort of practicing that earlier, but like, so we're on the A note there, G, A, like you can learn to sing with this stuff, you know, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like it doesn't matter about your voice, but it's how it harmonizes. Right, C major. Did we do that one yesterday? Done that one yesterday. Right, so sounds better with a little delay. Long string, sorry. There you go. So if we get like, see what I'm doing there? I'm not playing them simultaneously. I'm not doing simultaneous. That was simultaneous. I'm doing that. So I like licks off it. arpeggio, or tremolo. Conclusion of the lesson. See, so it's got like loads of versatility in that way. And generally what they'll tend to do is like there'll be sections of arpeggiation. And that's a very general sweeping statement because, you know, if you're looking at like some pieces just aren't too bad because they play for like a minute or so, like just over a minute, and then other pieces play for like a lot longer. But basically, it's sort of like the arrangement of the piece. Let's say, for example, there's an arrangement of the piece, say like in Solia, Allegria, Bulleria, Sigarias, like they're all based on the 12 count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So made up of two sections of 1, 2, 3, three sections of 1, 2, and that's where I didn't get to with the arpeggiations. So obviously, if they're quarter notes, and that's more like eighth notes, and then you've got 16th notes, and then like 30-second notes. But the interval, you know, the bits in between time. So if we've done like here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be like one measure in the bar. 1, 2, that's half a measure. 1, that's like a quarter beat. And half a beat like that, half a quarter beat would be like an eighth note, right? Like a staccato, and then like 16th, 32. So kind of go smaller. Don't go bigger than 4. Really, don't go bigger than one measure. Although this technique was designed for the guitar in relation to, you know, how a violin kind of elongates the note. Like if you hear a violin, they kind of like draw the string, the bow across the string, and that will, you know, give you like a, like, how's the way to, you know, a stretched sound. So, like for example, let's say, okay, this is from Solia. So it's like it's stretching that. Like obviously, you know, the more professional standard guitarists can get that like super tight, so it's like the interval is hardly there, and it just sounds like a flute, almost just like a really stretched sound. It's a beautiful sound when you hear it, and that's what they're doing as the tremolo. In classical guitar, they just use the 1, 2, 3. But in flamenco, it's called a 5-note tremolo, which in classical we call a 4-note tremolo, because you do include the bass string, but for some reason they include the bass string at the end. So that's something to practice on. kind of want the full value of the note. There's loads of exercises like that you can do, even just on the thumb alone. Painstaking stuff, but once you start getting a bit of a rhythm for it, then you can add the left hand. And one of the helpful tips about doing these chromatic scales is that, see, I've got all my fingers attached now. It's not like I'm playing. I'm not playing that way. Playing with all my fingers remaining on the string. And what that does is it helps you to sort of get that little bit of muscle memory that you need with flamenco when you sort of like it's the string. See how accentuated, like my finger is just on the string below, and then it just sorry. If you like long and arty movies, you'll love flamenco. So yeah, that's just some a few little hints and tricks and tips and stuff before we start getting into some like serious stuff. So you guys have to learn this, and that's why you know, I'm just like being dead relaxed about it, because that's really the attitude you kind of have to have with this stuff. It's not, you know, if you don't get up out of bed thinking about it like constantly, then you probably haven't got the gumption to learn it. And I hope you do, you know. But like, it's not uncommon for 18-hour days and stuff. You know, we've barely covered, we have covered some great stuff just in this lesson. Yesterday's lesson, my first lesson, you know, we got a full solia in, even if I couldn't get the count quite right. But still, you know, there's a lot to learn from what we've done yesterday in relation to what we're doing today, in relation to what we do tomorrow and the day after. And we sort of just build up, so we'll have a little library of interesting videos with descriptions on, and I'll just, like, as people get to know what it's about and stuff, I'll start adding more content, and you know, hopefully the quality will be great. And the good news is Liverpool, where I am, just right next to the docks, is starting a new shipping line, like practically to Seville. So, you know, if all things pull off, we can do little trips to Seville. I'd by plane because it's like £16 to Faro Airport in Manchester. Sorry, in Portugal, from Liverpool Airport. Out of season, I can take you to some like places that'll just blow your mind. Like, it's not even funny. This is some serious stuff. So, lots to look forward to, and I hope you've enjoyed tonight's little edification, little study, little educational period of traditional folk music from Celtic Andalusia in southern Spain. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.